that in the first boundary. Immediately, full change, slip removed into the cover region. With, again, fortunately for him, there's a man at short cover. It's good fielding this. Good start from Wesley Madivide. The man with the magic arm.
Yeah, he's a good field. For me, the best in the side. Whenever he's involved, been involved in a couple of run-outs as well through the course of this tournament. He really has got terrific hands. He's lightning across the surface as well.
There's a much better line in length from Tendai Chitara. Looking to land it from the middle and leg stump line and trying to get it to go across the left-hander. And that's the full schedule. Today, the final, the third Dufferbed one-day international here at Harare Sports Club.
Over.
5 from at the end of the third, it's 8-0. Five runs. The previous over from Tendai Chitara's over being the best so far in the power play. He starts off 2 straight. Richard Ngarava. Let's just flick down to the field that finally not really looking as comfortable as I've always seen tonight Richard Ngarava to be. Perhaps not fully recovered. The city not bowling with venom. Nicely driven, but only to find a fielder once again. Plenty of this has happened so far. Seen some good shots, but they've been finding the fielder more often than not. They need to capitalize, get value for shots.
Yeah, this is the match summary, and I think for the second ODI, the thing that I found interesting and that Craig Irvin is going to have to really think about is his bowling options. He was prepared to use 8 bowlers to get Zimbabwe across the line in the first ODI.
Playing a miss. Vikram Singh will feel he's missed out here. But that's a good point you make, Johnny. 8 bowlers used by Zimbabwe. There's your captain, Craig Irvin. So he's had to spread it around to try and break the back of the Dutch. Unfortunately for him, he found a good hand in Wesley Madivide.
Yeah, I think Craig Irvin mentioned at the toss that he'd be prepared to rotate his bowlers. He's got plenty of options. And there was the absolute star, of course, with the ball, that extraordinary hat-trick that just sucked the life out of the Netherlands in those middle overs.
And then again, the one thing that he's got to his disposal is that he's fortunate enough to have plenty of all-rounders who are genuine batters, who can also bowl. So more often than not, it's be a run-out chance. No, he's in quite comfortably. Sean Williams, left arm spinner. We've got Ryan Bull, leg spinner. But today Zimbabwe has also added in Brandon Mavuta, that man in the picture. Right arm leg spinner. Genuine bowler. Looking forward to watching him have a go. Got a fiver, made him fiver versus West Indies in the test match in Bulawayo. Much fuller length, but once again just punched down to the full at mid-on. Just 2 runs up off the 4th over. Netherlands subdued start, 11 for none.
Looking at that Zimbabwe squad, 7 bowlers at his disposal today. Craig Irvine was prepared to use 8 in that second ODI and use them effectively. Ultimately, all that really matters, isn't it? It's the result. It's a very linear sport. It's really win or lose. That's all that matters.
Once again, a good shot, but finding the fielder. Maxado, Vikram Singh. They need to maximize in this power play. Early on, we heard Dullington talk about trying to get a decent start to the power play because the middle periods could be difficult once spin is in operation. Part of the crowd that's here. Nicely played by Maxado down the ground. Tendai Chitara trying to follow him. It's gone too straight. And it's easy pickings. Good proaction from Maxado, a boundary.
Yeah, plays this well. It's a lovely use of feet, isn't it? And he gets the ball on the angle as well. It's just a little clip. Just beats the infield into the gap. It's a good use of work. Good use of work and a good use of feet as well by Max O'Dowd.
It's always a dangerous ploy to drift onto the pads, especially in the power play. There's not much in terms of fielders on the leg side, and that's where you want to be. Much better. 4th, 5th stump line, angling it onto top of off. Majority of your fielders at this moment in time on the offside region. The leg side has just got a fine leg, mid-wicket and a mid-on. So once you get decent bat on any delivery on the pads, it will definitely get yourself a boundary. Needs to stay off the pads, does Tendai Chitara.
On the try, but doesn't really time it. Probably admit, actually, through the course of that wonderful innings in the second ODI, Max O'Dowd didn't time a great deal on occasion, but he did pretty well. But he's a powerful player, and he'll know that if he can just bat at some kind of tempo, he'll just give the Netherlands a bit of a base here. They haven't got the scoreboard pressure, of course, of that second ODI.
Much better. Much better timing from Maxado this time. Plenty of bat in that. Importantly, it's gone straight back past the bowler. In the V. Another boundary. It's the second in this over.
Yeah, beautiful. Just a punch down the ground, straight as a die. That was the key. Massive backlift of his. And that ball certainly stayed hit on that occasion. Might be a bit more value as well as that strays onto the leg side and does. Well, back-to-back boundaries. Both off the bat. Nice way to finish the over. After 5. The Netherlands 23 without loss.
The 5th over, the Netherlands are 23 without loss. Once again, please do take note of the ICC notices around the ground.
cut away, but importantly goes straight to Tendai Chitara, who was responsible for the 5th over. The best. This is the last ball of the last over. 4 more runs. And the result is such that the 5th over was the best in this power play so far. 12 runs. Tendai Chitara once again going 2 straight. All it needed was just a bit of bat, a little tickle, and it rode down to the boundary.
Yeah, this pitch looks fairly easy paced, as it did in the first ODI. First one, of course, the first ODI pitch, there was a fair bit of bounce, especially in the power play in both innings. Back of a length proved really hazardous, but this is a fairly easy paced surface. The battery of spinners in either side, you feel, are going to bowl a large proportion of the overs. Pace off the ball being fairly key.
Much better line. Hints of shape. Back into the right-hander. Tactical move here being made by Zimbabwe. Looking to use Tendai Chitara to open the bowling with Richard Ngarava, as opposed to a combination of Ngarava and Blessing Muzarabani. I would have thought someone like a Blessing Muzarabani with his pace, his height, possible bounce would be more effective. Well bowled. But Zimbabwe opting to use, that's Blessing Muzarabani. Would have thought he'll be using the new rock, but unfortunately today he'll be the first change bowler, probably being asked to take up that enforcer kind of role. Captain Craig Irvin hoping Tendai Chitara, quite a skillful bowler in his own right, not taking anything away from Tendai Chitara with the new ball. More effective when there's still shine on the ball. Perhaps that would be the line of thinking. It's better to use Tendai Chitara a lot more up front than in the middle. An edge, but just wide of Sikandar Raza on first slip. First sort of a risky shot that Singh's played today. Max Adar, I beg your pardon. Just inducing that edge, looking to play that big booming drive through the covers. But that ball is forever angling away. But the good thing is that it was way, way, way far off Sikandar Raza at first slip. It was never going to carry anyway.
That's played nicely. Just run it down. They might think about a couple. Comfortably get back in the end. Pretty good over though. Just 4 conceded. And after 6 overs, Netherlands 27 without loss. There's the card. Solid start. Nothing spectacular. 9 off 13 for Singh. Maxo down 17 off 18.
Bowling change from the City end. The man responsible for the hat-trick in the second one-day international, Wesley Madevere.
Let him.
12 wickets in 29 matches. Good economy.
Let him. Let's see.
So trying something new today, bringing a spinner quite early in the power play. Still no Blessing Muzarabani.
Slung it down the leg side. First up, and that'll be a wide. But well, they say try and keep your bowlers bowling when they've got confidence.
Not a bad move. This is something he has done for his franchise side, especially in the T20 tournaments. He's used as an opening bowler, Wesley, and that's because of his ability to bowl into the wicket. But this time, just erring in his line. An easy pickings for Max Ado, using the sweep shot with the fielders still up, only 2 allowed outside the circle. He gets a boundary.
Tight margins in the power play, just 2 men out. Can't really stray like that down the leg side. Just have to help it's on his way, really.
Five runs off just the 3 legal deliveries. That's much better. That's a much better line. But well played by Max Ado. Just picking up that length quite nicely. And 3 wickets in the last match for Wesley Madera. Figures of 3 for 36. But important was the time they came in at a time when Netherlands were looking set, looking comfortable. And it produced a stellar of a performance to make sure that Zimbabwe came back strong into the second match.
Nice drive by Vikram Singh. A little bit of width to play with as well. Will be hauled in. Nice bit of work out there on the rope. Get back for 3 though.
Tossed up delivery. Looking to pace off. Perhaps just trying to see if he can get some turn. But Vikram seemed equal to the task. Gets himself some valuable 3 runs. Shots of catch over the fielder. Over Tendai Chitara. He's laughing, he has a smile, and he knows that could have been indifferent on another day. But importantly, it's the boundary of the last ball of the over. Enough to 7, or 40 for 9.
Then please take note of the ICC notices, one which reads, spectators shall not engage in any conduct, act towards or speak to any player, umpire, referee or other official, or other spectators in a manner which offends, insults, humiliates, intimidates, threatens, disparages or vilifies that other person on the basis of that other person's race, religion, colour, national or ethnic origin.
Biggest over in the innings so far, that 7th one. Wesley Madera, the bowler, the hero with the ball in Zimbabwean colours in that second ODI. It's Blessing Muzarabani, who will come in from the golf course end. He'll look to go across the left-hander here. Back of a length, and that's why he's got the 2 slips in. Looking for the single, Vikramjit. Max it out. Very loud in his call of no. Zarabani accounted for the wicket of Singh in the second ODI. Gave him a bouncer ball prior to the one we're just about to see. Next ball sitting back in the crease, not coming forward. It presented a pretty simple chance to Masakadza in the covers. Patient Chirumbira. Decent start here by the Dutch.
Yeah, really decent start indeed. And we see nice looking shot over the extra cover region from Vikram Singh. Zarabani with a little bit of width and offer, and Vikram Singh obliges. He's never looking to keep that down. He's going over the top. Nicely played. It's a good start there from the Dutch, Tino. Most importantly, that wicket's column.
Oh, he's given himself a bit of room again, Singh. This time nowhere near the line of the ball. It's gone past that outside edge.
Yeah, he played a similar shot the previous delivery, but this time just throwing his hands at that. Big swing and a miss. So look at the Zimbabwean dressing room. Pretty relaxed at the moment. And that's a better line, that from Zarabani. 8 overs gone. Netherlands 44 without loss.
Let's go!
Four bowlers used by Zimbabwe already. Madeveri just the 1 over for 13. And that experiment is short-lived. You see Richard Ngarava back into the attack, this time from the city end. Good start as well. Probably just Madeveri was being used in that previous over just to allow Richard Ngarava to swap ends, because we saw him start from the golf course end, and now he's going to have a crack at it. That's the skipper himself, the man in charge of making the decisions on field, Craig Irvine. He's going to be looking for a breakthrough here from somewhere. Off the outside edge, thickish outside edge. They're going to come back for 2. That's good running. Pretty ordinary fielding in the deep as well. It's got to be said. Dino?
Yeah, just looks like he's moving a little bit gingerly. Zarabani. Good running. Maxed it out. Before he touched on at the other end, just gave a glance to see where the third was. In relation to the ball, realized that he could get back and did so comfortably. Just the one slip in now. Bowled. It's a good line in length.
There's good energy about him this morning. Is Richard Ngarava. Missed out on second ODI. He's back again now in the decider, the final ODI in this Dufferbet ODI series. Zimbabwe taking on the Netherlands here, the beautiful Harare Sports Club. It's winner takes all today. Zimbabwe need a breakthrough at the moment. Here's Ngarava. Short, pulled away. A little bit of a misfield that Sean Williams is going to get around. Keep it to just 3.
It's a huge boundary out there. Hasn't got all of it maxed out, but he's got a fair bit. Sean Williams has gone a long way to his left to retrieve that ball. They get 3, Netherlands. So they're just 1 short of the 50 mark.
Vikramjit Singh is now 16 from 25, so pretty relaxed start, just giving himself a chance, taking his time to get himself in. A little bit too straight there, Richard Ngarawa. The pad, so that's the signal from the umpire. Langton Rosere, leg buys. He plays for a very, very 50 up. The best partnership so far in this series for the Dutch. 50 coming off 54 deliveries, and I was just mentioning that Vikramjit Singh plays for VRA in Amstelveen, in the Netherlands, as we see there. Dow just whipping one through straight to the mid-wicket to finish the 9th. Netherlands 50 without loss.
Back. Highest first wicket partnership for the Netherlands in the series. 50 for no loss. Max O'Dowd has taken control, 31 and 28 balls, carrying on from his good form in that second ODI. Same surface as that game. 271 scored by Zimbabwe. They would have felt after the start they had at one stage, 61 for none. Probably a good 30 or 40 runs short of what would have been a good total. Outside edge. Oh, he's put him down. And he's just thrown the ball away. Clive Madande. It doesn't get more regulation than this.
It's bizarre. Bizarre scenes here at the Royal Sports Club. Never seen anything like that. He just threw the ball away and given away a single. And a regulation outside edge, you'd expect any keeper to get that, and he's put it down, and the reaction after that is something that I've never seen in my life. So he's put it down, all right. Ken up, and Muzarabane is he cannot believe it. And then Madande just throws the ball away, and they get a single. Bizarre circumstances.
Yeah, I don't think he meant to throw the ball away. It's just the natural reaction of disappointment in himself. I think he probably just wanted to hold on to the ball. And I think the ball just slipped out of his hands. Now, I just would like to take a closer look at this again. Just see if he's really watching the ball into the gloves. Maybe he gets a little bit excited because he dropped another in the second ODI.
It's nicely pushed through the offside. Max O'Dowd sticking along nicely. Yeah, he did drop one in the second ODI, and that was tip bounce, and he got himself in a bit of a tangle. He didn't quite know whether to get it with fingers pointing up or fingers pointing down. And he's having a look at that drop catch again, outside edge, and yeah, probably just took his eye off the ball there. Just came in. He's intentionally thrown that away. Interesting.
He's going to have to forget about that and forget about it quickly. Madande still a good 40 overs and 2 balls that he needs to make sure that he's on the ball. Of course, nobody wants to drop catches in international cricket, especially with the gloves on. But once it's happened, you've got to try and get that out of your mind as quickly as possible. Pick yourself up. Other than the gloves, he's also got another role to play. He's got to G up the rest of the players. He's got to make sure everybody is in the right position, helping the captain.
And that's what it is, really. Yeah? It's all about the mental strength in this game to try and pick yourself up after such a situation, and the least experienced player on this field for Zimbabwe is Clive Madanda. He's only into his 6th ODI, so still very early in his ODI career. Bolt is going along nicely, 33 of 32. And that's a good one to finish from Muzarabani. So, end of the first power play, 10 gone. Netherlands 53 without loss.
That's the end of the 10th over. The Netherlands now 53 for now.
First power play done, and Langton Rusere signals the start of the second. The first time we're seeing him standing in this series. Television umpire in the first game. Sikandar will be introduced into the attack. Best of 3 for 21. 74 wickets in his 129 outings for Zimbabwe in one-day cricket. Netherlands power plays in the series. It's 26 for 2 in that first one-day international. 53 for 1 in the second. 53 for no loss in the third. So this is the best start they've had in the series. I would expect that on a surface that was used in that second one-day international. Won't expect too much movement out of the pitch. Probably as the day progresses, a bit more turn than we saw.
Yeah, another bold move from the captain, Craig Evans. You can see that he's searching for wickets because we're only into the 11th over, and this is already the 5th bowler Zimbabwe have used already in this in the counter. So Craig Evans trying all sorts of things here to try and get a breakthrough for Zimbabwe. It's a great start this from the Netherlands. A little bit too short on that occasion. But there is protection on the offside. It's Brendan Mavuta, who's coming in for the first time in this series, the leg spinner. Here's a look at the bowlers used today. So Raza is the 5th, and Craig Evans is going to look to try and get a breakthrough here. A lot of Dutch people would have woken up early to try and catch the action this morning. And they'll be enjoying this opening partnership between Maxo Daud and Vikram Jit Singh. Maxo Daud himself plays for VOC in Rotterdam in the Netherlands.
There's a lot of clubs, I think I've found out, that these players play for, Patient, that start with a V and end in a C. There's VRC as well, isn't there?
Well, there is a VCC. That is Voorburg Cricket Club. That's what the abbreviation stands for. And you also have VRA. That is the club that the man in your picture plays for. That is one of the oldest clubs in the Netherlands. A legendary club in the Netherlands. VRA. As you see that one just past the outside edge from Sikaraza. Was there an edge there, Tino? Did you get a feather to that? The umpire, Langton Rusele, seems to suggest that that went right past the outside edge.
Certainly two sounds. I wonder if the other side of the ball just brushing past the off stump. It wasn't the outside edge, no.
That's nicely played. Just a hand of width, and Max O'Dowd loves it outside the off stump. He thrives on width outside the off stump, and Raza presenting a little bit too much width on that occasion. And Max O'Dowd latches onto it. Quick bat speed.
He's in good form, and in general, he's very strong square of the wicket, Max O'Dowd. The seamers have got a bit of pace and bounce on the ball, likes to go up and over that ring. Oh, That's well played. He struck it well. Unfortunately, it's gone straight at the man, Wesley Madevere. Certainly saves a boundary for Zimbabwe. 11 gone at 60 for none. Maxed out, 139 runs in the series so far. Clive Madande, the young Zimbabwean wicketkeeper, has put in some good contributions himself. 126 in the 2 innings he's played. Back-to-back half centuries. And then Teja Nidamanuru with that outstanding 100 in that first one-day international in 3rd place.
Another big swing and a miss, and have a look at the power play. First power play, first 10 overs. A lot of width and offer from the Zimbabwe bowlers. We saw a drop catch as well from Madande. Should have been taken that. A man who has been in form, good nick with the bat, Clive Madande. It's been the mainstay for the Zimbabwe batting order. Fortunately, Vikramjit Singh slashing on that. Rabani just offering a little bit too much width there.
Yeah, you don't want to give him width. He just throws his bat at it when he gets that width outside the off stump. He doesn't worry about being technically correct, getting his foot in the right place or getting his weight over the ball. Once there's width, he just throws his bat at it. If he gets a good connection, more often than not, the result is good as well. He moves on to 22. Oh, it's well bowled. That's where he wants to be. Good length going across the left-hander. Clive Madande, who's been outstanding with the bat throughout the series. He hasn't been quite so flash with the gloves. This was in the 2nd ODI. This went quickly from Chitara. Got himself in an awkward position and couldn't take that. And then that's in the last over. Regulation opportunity. I just wonder if when the ball's getting close to him and he's realized there's been an edge, if he just takes his eye off the ball. Certainly some work to be done and some improvements to be made.
Yeah, it's probably just a little bit of excitement. Excitement from the youngster. Least experienced guy in the Zimbabwe side, only into his 6th ODI, so we would understand still quite new to the scene. He's got to pick himself up. Dutch skipper Edwards winning the toss this morning and electing to bat fast, and it's turned out to be a very good decision. This is a really good start from the Netherlands. Max O'Dowd and Vikram Singh putting on a good partnership for the first wicket. Look at the Zimbabwe dressing room. Pants looking faces there.
Davey Houghton, the coach. I'm sure he'll be putting in a few extra hours with the gloves on with Madande, of course, former Zimbabwean wicketkeeper himself back in the day. Steve Kirby on the left, Eric Chauluka on the right, bowling and fielding coaches respectively.
Good piece of fielding from the skipper. So inspiration from the skipper, leading from the front. 12 overs gone. Netherlands 65 without loss.
End of the 12 over 65 for now.
How's your wrist? Fine now. That's why when I get fine.
65 for none. Projected scores, this current rate will get them to 271.
Second ball.
6 and over, 293. Very gettable. If they can continue as they've started. The Netherlands. There you go. 7 and over will get them to 330. They'll be very happy if they manage to do that.
Oh.
On surface, though, Patient, certainly providing ideal batting conditions.
Absolutely, Tino. Looks like a belt of a batting track. There's a lot of runs to be had here. If you give yourself a chance, put your head down, and dig deep. And that is what these two opening batsmen have done so far. And it's looking good for the Dutch at the moment. Zimbabwe need a breakthrough. Can Sikandar Raza provide it?
Yep.
Nicely whacked away.
Right, Chief. A couple of overs ago, we were having a discussion about the clubs and the club names. Are you still playing club cricket yourself? And what club are you playing for, if you are?
Absolutely, I still play in The Hague. That's in Den Haag, in the Netherlands. That for HCC, that's Haagse Cricket Club. And I tell you what, it's a big appeal for LBW, turned away by umpire Rusere. We are the current Dutch champions, apparently. Landskampioenen, as they say in Dutch. And having a look at the LBW shot that was straying down the leg side, umpire Rusere had none of it, having none of it there. So HCC is a very important club in the Netherlands because they're the most successful club in Dutch top class of cricket. 49 titles they've won, and in this season we're going to be defending the Dutch title to try and make it 50.
Sounds a bit like Manchester United in the English Premier League. Patient. 13 gone, 66 for none.
My leg, it was of Liverpool, that's why he did it on the sample.
That one bounced.
Uh-oh.
13 overs in. There's a bit of a discussion between the senior fast bowlers on the Zimbabwean side. Pretty sure that discussion will be, listen guys, how are we going to get a wicket on the surface? Sarabani's been entrusted with another delivery, another over per se. Looks there like Tendai Chitara saying, give the ball to me, I can have a go. There's 3 overs gone for 17. Zimbabwe yet to get a breakthrough. Ngarawa good again, without any luck. 14 runs from his 4 overs.
That's a good thing to see when a senior bowler like Tendai Chitara is going to the captain and say, hey, we need I can do this, give me the ball, give it to me. And that's good signs. That's what you want to see from your senior fast bowlers. Slight change in the field. We see Sikandar Raza being moved from the mid-wicket position to the slip, so that's an attacking move from Craig Irvine. It shows that Zimbabwe looking for a breakthrough here, trying to get a wicket here.
I think it's a good move, in particular with Ngarawa going across the left-handed Singh. He was just throwing the bat at the ball when it's outside the line of that off stump. Yeah, lots going through his mind for sure. Craig Irvin, where do I get a breakthrough? Where do I bring this run rate down from above 5? Try and create some pressure and hopefully a false shot to get that breakthrough.
Yeah, Zimbabwe really in dire need of a breakthrough here. Dawood is standing firm. 38 of 41. He plays for VOC in Rotterdam, and they are the current T20 champions in the Netherlands. And he was part of it. He played a big role in that. Max O'Dowd.
So do you get an opportunity then during the season to rub shoulders and play against a lot of these Dutch representatives here?
Yeah, a lot of these guys in the Dutch team right now play in the Dutch top classe. A few of them obviously not involved, likes of Fred Klaassen, Paul van Meekeren, have to head over to England. They play in the county. Play county cricket, but predominantly a lot of the guys that's up pitch, and that's straight at the man, and that's a big wicket. Muzarabani providing the much needed breakthrough for Zimbabwe. Max O'Dowd leaning back a little bit there, providing a simple catch to the man at mid-off, and that was Richard Ngarawa.
Yeah, he tends to do this sometimes. Max O'Dowd just checking if the front foot is okay. No problems there. But he just stands up on the ball sometimes when it's pitched up, and he's done it again there. Hasn't leant over the ball, leant backwards, and that's why the ball's gone up as opposed to along the ground. Muzarabani gets the important breakthrough for Zimbabwe. Man in 4, Max O'Dowd goes for 38 at 67 for 1.
New batsman for the Netherlands, Musa Ahmed, 67 for 1.
Ahmed, new man at the crease. Zimbabwe were desperately looking for a breakthrough. The man who's provided it is Muzarabani. Just 11 matches, 134 runs, best of 42. Patient, maybe you can tell us a little bit more about this. I remember him batting quite low down in that second one-day international, elevated up the order today.
He's definitely a top order batsman. It's a good short one to start from Muzarabani, just to greet the new batsman as we look at the wicket again. Richard Ngarawa, no mistake whatsoever. Fantastic catch, much needed breakthrough. Blessing Muzarabani, the man providing the breakthrough. Yeah, so he used to play for HCC. It's Musa Ahmed. Now he's moved to Voorburg Cricket Club, that is VCC, to join his brother Shariz Ahmad as we end the 14th, the Netherlands, 67 for 1.
Well, there's the card. 67 for 1. Skandaraza. It's bowled quite nicely through the course of the tournament. Think about a couple, think better of it. Good to have back alongside me, Darlington, Matambandanso. Darlington set up nicely for the Netherlands, but they'll be a bit disappointed with that loss.
I don't know, I'm slightly different opinion. I think they were a little too conservative through that power play for my liking. I think the best batting conditions in this match are going to be early rather than later. I definitely do think that the Zimbabwean spinners are going to have a good time out there. We saw that they've included leg spinner Brandon Mavuta, who I think is going to be quite a lot of work on this wicket. We heard at the toss Craig Irvin talk of a target around about 230, which my first reaction to was that that's a little on the low side, but I think if the spinners get it right, probable that scores around 230, 240 might actually be likelier rather than the around 300 that I thought at the pitch report this morning.
And no pace on the ball. End of the over. 15 overs gone. Netherlands 68 for 1.
Maybe pivot it better.
Yeah, they're the projected scores. 6 and 7 is where the Netherlands would like to be. Runs it over from here. Swing and a miss outside the off stump. Vikram Singh will be frustrated. He missed out on that one.
Zarabani has gotten past the outside edge of Vikram Singh's bat a couple of times already today, and then did find it once. Difficult. I mean, there was a fairly straightforward chance that was put down, so I think this is going to be pretty standard from Zarabani. Just going to keep that ball going across Vikramjit Singh.
That's another great one. What a terrific delivery that is. It's the extra height of Musrabani. Must be the quickest on show in this game. Just extracting all bounce from the surface.
Something he does well to left-handers, and that's gone quite a long way. And beautiful seam position. Was able to get so much movement. Not many wickets for him by his standards. He's going to be quite disappointed. Coming back from quite a long leg injury. And I think today we're starting to see something like his best. He's bowled absolutely beautifully. And I think the thing I've liked most is his control of his length today. Bowled intentionally quite full. And as a result, he's got to just move around a little bit.
Yeah, taller men always just extract a little bit more out of a surface. What an extravagant shot by Singh. Vikramjit Singh just looking to get inside the line and help that up and over. third man.
This has just been set up by some really good bowling in the 3 deliveries before this one. 1 past the outside edge, 2 past the outside edge, and then Vikramjit Singh is just looking to hit his way out of what has been some really, really good bowling from Zarabani.
Very good this, isn't it? Pattern of dots in the over. Can he wriggle out of it with another dot and bring up a maiden?
Vikramjit Singh in this series, 8 in the first ODI, 14 in the second. This is his highest score in the series. And he's just had a little bit of trouble with the reintroduction of Zarabani into the attack for Zimbabwe.
That's a nice shot. Still a man out there. It's still a very, very good over by Mir Zambani. 16 gone. The Netherlands 69 for 1.
The end of the 60 over, 69 for 1.
Ele Mafero.
273 would be what the Netherlands would make if they get 6 runs and over from here.
Good Raza.
Just 8 runs from Skandar Raza's 3.1 overs so far. It's been really, really good. Just as I say that, he gets the second wicket for Zimbabwe. This is one he bowls consistently, low arm, round arm delivery, little slower in the air, and Vikramjit Singh is dismissed for 28.
Singh out for 27.
No problem with that. And it's a little, well, it's a slap, isn't it? Straight to the skipper. Oh, he'll be bitterly disappointed with that. Vikramjit Singh, well, he goes for 27, and the Netherlands 69 for 2, and we'll be taking a drinks break. 69 for 2. Last wicket to fall, Vikramjit Singh. 27, a little sluggish. The next man in is Colin Ackerman. Strike rate of 77.33, a best of 81. Very experienced campaigner, of course, in this Netherlands side. He's already had a good hand in this series. 50 in that first match. A few runs in the second as well. And he's here because of this. And a couple of wickets, in fact. O'Dowd was the first one to go. Near Zimbabwe on the action. And slapping straight in the gentle hands of Craig Irvine. That was the second. Driven nicely first up. Might get a bit of value here. Be hauled in by Ryan Bell. It's a rapturous applause from this crowd, which is starting to build up here at the Sporting Club. Harare.
The Zimbabwe Cricket Union supporters stand at Castle Corner. Absolutely love Ryan Bell at this ground. And that is the Centurion and the grass embankment. Great place for time with the family.
Yeah, terrific venue this is. Full toss. Get another singles the total. He has hosted the most ODIs outside of Sharjah. That's it, a little bit of shade under the parasol. Great to see families here. This is it, the next generation. That's all you want to see really at cricket. New faces falling in love with the game. And again, lovely family scenes.
Some two new batters in for the Netherlands. Just probably going to see a period of really slow. That is the end of the 17th. And it's 73 for 2.
Well, there's the card. 73 for 2 off 17. Strike rates is probably the problem for the Netherlands. And at what stage they start to just nudge things along gently here. Don't want to get stuck. That's been the problem a couple of times in the series. A man of vast experience. Very handy cricketer to have at this stage. Needs to continue to build this score up. Whereas, of course, Zimbabwe quite happy just to sit in, really, in these middle overs and make the Netherlands call the shots.
Do get the impression that Mzarabani is coming to the end of his bowling spell here.
Oh, here we go, some lovely shots of Zimbabwe. What a beautiful country. Oh yes, I saw a few animals yesterday on a trip to a game reserve, which was wonderful. Didn't see one of those, mind. Got about 10 yards away from a cheetah, definitely saw one of them. Yeah, funny enough, it was incredible. We got within about 10 yards of a cheetah, and the only reason the cheetah wasn't interested in us was because he'd eaten 7 impalas that morning, so was just sleeping them off.
And so you were out at Emire Game Park, apparently?
Yes, it was incredible. It was a wonderful experience. Set up very kindly by Tino and also Dave Houghton as well. But it was a really wonderful experience.
And beauty from Mzarabani past the outside edge of Ackerman's bat. I have a story from my youth about Emire Game Park. We went out there, I think I was about 8 or 9 years' time, the first time I went out there. And we had lunch at, I can't remember, I think the lodge then. They used to have this tame, they said, male lion. And it was the first time that I realized how big those things actually were. They're absolutely enormous.
Yeah, they are. Well, they're the ultimate predator, aren't they? Certainly don't want to run into them on a dark night, that's for sure. But the cheetahs were impressive, I have to say, and incredible, actually, incredible story behind them. They were being repatriated over here from Canada. There's Ackerman's numbers across this series: 50 off 72, 28 off 36 so far in the 2 ODIs thus far. A bit of width, slapped away, up and over, extra cover, and there'll be a boundary for Ackerman.
That will also bring up the end of the 18th as Netherlands move to 78 for 2.
Burley, you want to do mid on? I'm doing slip and then Chats can do there. Larry, do you want to do there? Because I need to do slip. Yeah, but then so Slug can do cover. I can do slip. You can do deep.
Well, there's the card. Just Maveri, actually, the only one to go around the park really in his one over, considering that hat-trick a couple of days ago. Nice economies across the board.
Really like the way that Craig Irvin has mixed up the bowling today. Just not allowed the Netherlands to get away to a good start. And it's been effective. Not a good one from Skandar Raza. And Musa Ahmad has done quite nicely. Gotten it quite a long way behind square on the offside.
Here's the boundary. A little bit of width. The final ball of the last over. And Colin Ackerman won't mind it out there. Allows him to free his hands.
Oh, yeah.
Colin Ackerman being dismissed twice by the spinners. Once by Tifel to Skandar Raza. And the second ODI, and then the first ODI fell to Wellington Masakadza, left arm, slow left arm. He's not playing today. And I think we're going to see the introduction of spin at both ends, and he's kind of struggled with that. So these are the options that one of them that Craig Irvin has is Sean Williams with his slow left arm spin. We also have a man making his first appearance in this ODI series today. That's Brandon Mavuta with his leg spin. Got his best figures in Test match cricket. Got 5 wickets in the second Test match against West Indies in Bulawayo. And just a little bit untidy from the captain himself.
Good boy.
Didn't quite, you can see him adjusting his fingers. Didn't quite get it in the right part of the hands as he was looking to pick that one up. just the 4 from the 9th over. 19th over, as Netherlands are 82 for 2. Current is 216, but Craig Irvin talked of scores around 230, which would be 5 and over from here. And we were just talking about Brandon Mavuta, and he's going to be bowling for the first time in this series. Best of 2 for 30, just 7 wickets in 9 matches. And he's going to want to improve his economy.
Where's he?
He's replacing Zarabani, who I thought bowled really, really well today. Got a lot past the outside edge of both the right-hander and the left-handed batters. Just a 1 wicket for him. I think what's important is that he went for just 19 in the 6 overs that he bowled today. So Brandon Mavuta has some very high standards to follow up behind.
Get on, go.
Well, here we are. Of course, the big qualifiers will be here the 18th of June, the 9th of July. Second time in a row that Zimbabwe have hosted them, and there are the immediate qualifiers that are qualified. And, well, West Indies, Sri Lanka, Ireland, South Africa playing off for 8th place. It's in South Africa's hands, we feel, especially if they can beat the Netherlands 2 games in a row. But there's still mathematics involved. What aids their cause, actually South Africa's cause is that Sri Lanka lost to New Zealand a little earlier today. That helps the equation for South Africa.
And Sheriff.
Bit of a fumble. Resist the option of a single.
These will be hosted in Harare, 2 grounds in Harare and 2 grounds in Bulawayo.
Get boys, get fellas.
Yeah, it's likely to be a high-class tournament. It really is. With a number of full member nations that will be there. Oh, goes past the outside edge. Nice change of angle that. Mavuta. Tidy over so far. But yeah, 43 games across the course of that tournament. If it's anything like the drama we saw last time, promises to be a cracker. 20 overs gone, Netherlands 85 for 2.
That's going to be 20 over 85 for 2.
Partnership at the top of the order, 68 from 83, O'Dowd and Singh. And then nascent partnership, just 16 runs scored so far from 22 deliveries between Ackerman and Musa Ahmad. And there's another bowling change from the City end. We saw Wesley Madeve Early on today's in the power play, 13 runs off his fast over.
Well, quite rightly matched the man of the match in that second ODI. Turn the game on its head. Bear in mind, of course, 197 for 2 they were at one stage in that second ODI. But that hat-trick, well, it wasn't quite the absolute clincher in the game, but it certainly changed the complexion of it.
Netherlands were basically cruising to win up until that point. It was looking like there was no real doubt that they would win that second ODI. And then Wesley Madavere just bowled it. It's a quick run, and both Musa Ahmad gets there quite comfortably in the end. And this is Ackerman's dismissal in the last match. A great stumping from Clive Madande. It's the turn that's gotten that one past the inside edge of Ackerman's bat. And really good work behind from Clive Madande.
Yeah, that was the first in the sequence of the hat-trick. Third ever Zimbabwean to take a hat-trick. High drama. And the other two were Teja Niedemaru, who got a first baller, and did Paul van Meekeren. It really was, well, must be one of the highlights of his career thus far. Change of angle. End of the over. 21 gone. Netherlands 88 for 2.
Keep playing with it.
88 for 2. 21 overs in. That run has come down considerably, 4.19 over the last 10 or so overs, courtesy of those 2 wickets and what we've managed to get. Brandon Mavuta will continue from the golf course. He's had an outstanding domestic season for his province, the Rhinos. Great test match in Bulawayo as well. The first one against the West Indies last month. Gets his opportunity coming back into the white ball side. As I get an opportunity to say a very good morning to Stanley Chiwoza.
Good morning, Tino. Positive move this from Zimbabwe. Obviously, he would have been looking to ball. Craig Irvin, that is, would have been looking to ball in the afternoon. But you have to win the toss first. Would have been nice to see this man in action on a wicket that has got some sort of an assistance. Drop catch. That would have been his first wicket in Zimbabwe colours, because he's been missing from this team for over 5 years. Brandon Mavuta. Return catch. Just diving to his left, but not able to stick.
It's a difference. He's done well to get as far as he has to his left in the follow-through. Well, that's cut away. Now he's given a bit of width outside the off stump. He's waited beautifully for that. Is Ahmed. Finds the gap backward of square.
The line. Obviously trying to ball a lot more wrong ones to the left-hand batter. But you've got to start it at middle and leg stump line. So at least it finishes off right on the top of off stump. This time, the ball pitching outside the line of off stump and just continuing. Presenting width. That's a much better delivery. Much better delivery from Brandon Mafuta to finish the 22nd over 5 from it, 93-42. Some projected scores here at this current run rate. 212 is the target. They'll need plenty of that at some point. Get it up to 6. 261. That's where they want to be, the Netherlands. Pretty much every other score that has been set in the 2 matches prior has been changed down. So they want to make sure they get as plenty as they can. 260, 270, 280 plus, if they can. And in light of the qualifiers, team, I think it's a good thing that the Dutch have an opportunity to bat first. That's the castle corner forever buzzing. Just to give themselves an opportunity to get used to these conditions. The qualifiers to be played between June and July, and Zimbabwe, Netherlands will be taking part. And these are the conditions that they'll be playing in. So an opportunity for them just to get used to them. Wesley Madere just erring in line. Tendai Chitara will chase, but the Dufferbed boards win. The question is, I would have thought that's brushed the pad, but the umpire signaled it was off the bat. Just angling it in. A little tickle from Musa Ahmed, and the result is a good one for Netherlands.
12th boundary in the Netherlands innings. No sixes so far today. Oh, turn. Now you can expect this. And there was a bit of turn on this pitch towards the end of the match on day 2. It's drier today, less grass. As we go out through the day, we'll see more of that. Good line of attack from Madevere, because if it carries on from there, he's still got the opportunity to get him LBW bowled, but look at that. That has certainly responded to the pitch.
2 straight once again. Tendai Chitara, all safe. So 5 runs from the 23rd. Netherlands 98 for 2.
Receiving the 23rd over, 98 for 2.
Those red buildings, not too high, and Zimbabwe will be happy that they've managed to just rein in that scoring rate. It's in the air, but he's found the gap, so worries in terms of that ball going towards the field. Stanley, we were just talking about young Brandon Mafuta and how well he's done domestically. Player of the competition, the Pro 50 competition. That's the 50 over limited overs competition. 28 wickets in the 9 matches that he played. Quite close to the top of the leaderboard in the Logan Cup as well. So as you say, hasn't been in the Reds for Zimbabwe in a while. He'll be looking to turn that domestic form into international form.
Key was the rhythm. He found a rhythm in the domestic setup. Bowled good lengths. Just bowling a little too full for my liking today. I like him to see him settle in that 4-5 yards kind of length. That's much better.
This one.
And that single takes the 100 up for the Netherlands. not as quick as they would have wanted. And look at those numbers. The first of 50, just 54 deliveries, first 50, and the second 50, 89 deliveries. That's how well Zimbabwe has bowled in this period. That's a much better lead. Unfortunately for him, batsman on his way. He had all the right to be there, the batsman, so we can't blame him. And they are buzzing, getting involved into the action. The Zimbabwe Cricket Supporters Union, Zimbabwe's own version of the Barmy Army. Quite loud do they get.
Oh, it's a top edge, slip's gone out, and it's going to run away for 4. And that will make the over a very good one, that boundary. 7 from it in the end, 24 gone, it's 105 for 2.
That's the scorecard so far. Batsman getting starts. 27-49, seeing 38-43. Mike Sado. Zimbabwe will be happy to see this back of him as he walked off the pitch. Good delivery, good wicket by Blessing Zarbani. Interesting not opening the bowling today. Zimbabwe preferring to go with Tendai Chatara and Richard Ngarava.
This is unfortunate for Mavuta. His over had been very good up until then. Ackerman has been in fine form in the 2 matches that have preceded today's.
Punch down the ground. Steady head. Colin Ackerman goes about his work quite silently, quietly. And before you know it, he's lifting his bat for a milestone. He's someone who's cool, calm, and collect at times like this. Tom Cooper showed that in the second one-day international. Given an opportunity, he was dropped to 34, mind you, by the keeper, Clive Madande. Another straightforward catch. But what a massive, massive partnership to try and bring the Netherlands into contention and chasing down this total set by Zimbabwe in that second one-day match. Going about it steadily. Netherlands, like I said, first time they get an opportunity to bat first in the series. Another 2 games they've had to ball first, so an opportunity for them to try and see what is a good total, not just for today but in the long run as they come back for the qualifiers. And this is one of the fields, one of the venues that will be used, so good opportunity to get themselves accustomed to the conditions. 3 off it, 25 overs gone, that's 108 for 2.
25 overs, the Netherlands 108 for 2.
Six bowlers used so far by Craig Irvin. 2 successful ones, Mzarabani, 1 for 19 in his 6. Sikandaraza, 1 for 16 in his 5. At the moment it's Mavuta. Slip into the right-hander.
Fumble off his own bowling. Brandon Mavuta is generally a very good fielder, so this is very unlike him. But then again, it's been happening plenty of time within the Zimbabwe camp. Full. Nicely driven. But, one of the better fielders in the Zimbabwe camp finds himself in the right position. Wesley Madevere. Talk of youthful exuberance. It oozes in this young man. Just would like to see him ball on a good length, Brandon. That's much better. Just a touch too straight, though. Squeezed onto the leg side for a single. Good fielding from the captain, Craig Irvin. We saw him effect a run out in the second one there in similar fashion.
The Zimbabweans haven't been as good as we know they can be in the field in the series, unfortunately. Not just the drop catches that I'm talking about. Also general ground fielding as well. Too many fumbles, too many misfields. Team that prides itself on its fielding. Put him down just as we're talking about the Zimbabwean fielding display throughout the series, Stanley.
And would you believe, one of the better fielders, safe hands from Zimbabwe, Sikandar Raza. What a timely welcome wicket this would have been. Looking to try and accelerate, to try and search for a boundary. Looking to try and penetrate that deep mid-wicket area. It's quite vacant at this moment, but just not getting the elevation.
You always just feel you've got a chance when Ackerman's facing the spinner. He likes to get on with things. It's a good ball to finish the over from Brandon Mavuta. It's a good over as a whole, just the 2 runs from it. It's 110 for 2.
Those are the partnerships so far. The best one yet, 67 off 83. Max Odo and Vikram Singh, the openers. Ackerman, Musa Ahmed rather, 41 off 58. And this one has to continue. Would have been broken, but unfortunately, Sikandar Raza just not able to grasp that catch. He lives to fight another day. Colin Ackerman.
He struck it firmly, but a fielder of the caliber of Sikandar Raza was expected to take that. It looked on that replay like the ball probably got to him sooner than he thought it would have. Almost surprised by the ball getting to him so quickly.
Normally an energetic figure in the fielding side of things, Sikandar Raza. The drop catch certainly has quietened him now.
No!
It's been an aspect of the Zimbabwe fielding throughout the series, as Tina Mawoyo mentioned. Zimbabwe have just not been up to scratch with their fielding.
There's been 3 drop catches. The first was to Madande. He dropped another in the second one-day international regulation. That was Mavuta a couple of overs ago. That's a very difficult chance, but we've seen those stick before. And then Sikandar Raza a few deliveries ago. And you just sit and wonder what the scorecard might have looked like had Zimbabwe held on to those opportunities.
Talking about what the scorecard would have looked like, Tina, if you then go back to that first one-day international we played here, Had their fielding been on point, would have been a different result, possibly. Crucial in that Teja Nidamanuru was dropped twice in the same over. We'll talk about that more when we return. It's the 27th, 114 for 2.
Can Mavuta get the breakthrough for Zimbabwe? Oh, that's a good shot. That's a very good shot. I didn't think that it was going to get through to the boundary. Fielder coming round, not able to stop that.
That's the length. He's been bowling full. Mavuta. This one is well pitched up as well, and it's struck firmly, importantly. Richard Ngarava can't get there. Despairing drive. But the result is a handy one to the Netherlands charge. And this single takes this partnership to 50. It's growing. It's growing in stature. And it's up to these two to try and push further and deeper. Right now, it's just the 28th over. We want to be there up and above the 35th over mark.
And the contribution from these two, 51 now. Ackerman contributing 27. Ahmed 24. And Ackerman is looking good control.
Hasn't found the right length today, Brendan Mavuta. Just giving plenty of air. Up and above that, bowling way too full. And this just allowed the batsman to play strong shots down the ground. And once again, full. It's making it too easy for the Netherlands batsman. He needs to pull that length back. Irrespective of what variation it is, but if the length is wrong, it's too full. The batsman can easily get to it. So there's no threat whatsoever at this point in time.
Batting coaches often talk about getting a boundary early in the over, getting a boundary to close it off. Look at what that 4 has done. First ball of the over. It's just been singles and a 2 for the next 4 deliveries, but already the over's gone for 9. That's exactly why batters are encouraged to try and get that boundary early in the over. Puts pressure on the bowler. A minimum of fuss for the remaining 5 balls. Make sure that they get 10 in the over. It's another good one. 28 gone, 124 for 2.
Good over. The previous one, 10 runs off it. And they're up and going. Irrespective of what's happening on the park, they're having their fun. Sean Williams has been brought into the attack from the city end. Replaces Wesley Madevere. 77 wickets, but important to that economy. Under 5. Best of 4 for 43. Sean Williams. I suppose the one thing also you can take that's good about having plenty of spinners, plenty of options in your spin department, is you get overs moving. And in no time, you look at the scoreboard, the overs have gone. So good control measure. But at this moment in time, they need wickets, Zimbabwe. And hence, the captain, Craig Irvin, is forced to make another change. Still to see Ryan Bill, another leg spinner, being brought into the action. I'm sure at some point we will.
Sean Williams has got a golden arm. Very often gets breakthroughs for Zimbabwe. He's got the ability on a pitch like this, Stanley, to be a handful because he can get the ball to turn, get a bit of bounce. He also has the ability to get the ball to go straight arm. He's got a very good arm ball. Effective to the right-handers in particular.
One of his major strengths, up and above what you're saying, Tino, is his control. Normally likes to keep it on stump line. Talking about having fun. No, up and above that, it's a good day to be out in the sun. There is plenty of cloud cover, yes, but the sun is out as well. It's quite bright out there. So if you have no plans, then Aurora Sports Club is where you need to be.
Castle corner in full cry. And that part of the stand's full. The rest will fill up later this afternoon. Big appeal. Langton Rosario says probably high, and I'm assuming going down the leg side as well.
So we have a look at that again. This one continuing with the arm, was definitely missing that whole set of stumps. So good decision. Simple one though for Langton Rosario. Good over so far, with just the two coming off it. One ball to come.
Thickest inside edge. We've seen him get a couple of those to the ball turning into himself, Ahmed. Probably would just like to play that ball a bit later. It's 29 overs gone. Netherlands 127 for 2.
So there's the card. 127 for 2. His current partnership. 58 off 76. He's been sawn off on a couple of occasions, so to be fair. And wow, run rate 4.38. That's one thing that the Zimbabwe will be happy about. They'd probably like to take a couple more wickets. Adaveri is into the attack. Who's he's bowled beautifully in the second ODI. Number 29 thus far of 5.1 overs. Patient, good to have you alongside.
Morning, Johnny. A beautiful day for cricket here at Aurora Sports Club. Magnificent weather for cricket. The crowd swelling in, starting to get involved. Nicely worked down the ground as we see the beautiful Aurora Sports Club. Fantastic venue for ODI cricket. Is Musa Ahmed. 29 is now of 42 deliveries. Going along nicely.
Goes bowling. Oh, terrific bit of bowling. Len back, gave himself a bit of room. And the bails disappeared as the off stump is rocked back.
It's a good old commentator's case, wasn't it? Just as I was praising him, Madivere Wesley, the man with the golden arm for Zimbabwe, produces an absolute perler. Top of off stump. And that's the demise of Musa Ahmed. He's going to depart for 29. Netherlands, 129 for 3.
Well, kind of breakthrough that the Netherlands would have wanted. Next man in, Wesley Baresi. Best of 137, average of 33. Across 35 ODIs. And he's there because of this. Decent little ball. Just tries to give himself a little bit of room, doesn't he? Stepping away, clearing that leg, and top of off.
Yeah, a little too close to cut, and boy was he elated, Wesley Madivere. I really enjoyed that wicket. And that brings about Wesley Baresi to the crease. A senior statesman as far as Dutch cricket is concerned. He's been around for a very long time.
Punches in the air, doesn't he, down the ground?
So Wesley Baresi turns out for HBS. That is a club in Rotterdam. Actually, that's a club in The Hague, not Rotterdam, pardon me. As we close the 30th over, Netherlands 130 for 3.
That's the end of the 30th over. The Netherlands are 130 for 3.
Ja, 100%.
A little bit towards you.
There's the card. 130 for 3. This is a used surface, though. And those are the partnerships. And those are the wickets as well.
A little bit towards you. Yeah. Off stump, yeah.
Baresi is back on strike. First appearance in this ODI series.
He's an experienced campaigner, Wesley Baresi. He's been around Dutch cricket for a long time in the orange.
Down the track. How much of that has he got? Oh, just falls safely. Ryan Burl didn't quite get there, to be fair. I think he was always going to land short.
Anxious moment. Would have had his heart in his mouth for a moment there. Wesley Baresi. He made his debut for the Netherlands in 2010. And just shimmy down the track here. Not quite the connection he was looking for. And, Ryan Bell just not quite getting there in the nick of time.
Yeah, looking to go quite big and quite early. Wesley Baresi. I wonder whether that's the approach. I think another 100, 110 from here would be competitive. Craig Irvine said as much in the toss. Colin Ackerman is there. He's going nicely. 32 or 44 to him.
Get it!
Oh, he's got him! Oh, he's got him! Williams has got Baresi. It's a push back to the bowler, a dive across to his right-hand side. The crowd, well, they love that, as you might expect here at the Harare Sports Club.
Oh, it was a brief stint at the wicket for Wesley Baresi. He didn't last long at all. Good delivery from Sean Williams. Takes the pace out of that. Subtle variations in pace, and Baresi just chips one straight back, and that's a fabulous grab. Fantastic catch from Sean Williams to get rid of Wesley Baresi. He's going to go for 2. Netherlands 134, 132 for the loss of 4 wickets.
boys. Off. Off stop.
Well, there is the card. Well, here we go. Man for the moment, bitterly disappointed after the defeat in the second ODI. Scott Edwards, the captain, could barely get through the post-match presentation. 86 is the best for him, and he's there.
Oh! Willie!
That's the wicket again. Pretty soft dismissal, tame dismissal, but great catch nonetheless from Sean Williams, who was a very good fielder. It's a good one to finish. 31 off is gone. Netherlands 132 for 4.
There's the card, 132 for 4. Just look at the openers. Vikramjit Singh 27 off 49, Max O'Dowd 38 off 43. There was a suspicion that the time to score here was in the first 10, 15, maybe 20 overs. And the fact that they didn't score enough in that period might put them under a little bit of pressure with the turning ball at the back end of this first innings. Very bowled beautifully in the second ODI, and he's just holding it back a touch. That was the trick to his hat trick. Ackerman was, of course, the first to go in that sequence. He's played that quite nicely into the gap. Get back for a couple.
Interesting to see that the spinners are playing a big role in this encounter. As we have a look at the Dutch batting lineup, so the next batsman in is Tejanida Manuru. He has scored 100 in that first ODI. Shariz Ahmad is also quite handy with the bat.
That's a nice bit of work by the bowler. He's a terrific field. He really is. There he is, Nida Manuru. Who, what an innings. His maiden ODI century in that first game, and a match-winning innings in a chase away from home is quite something. It really was a blistering piece of batting.
Yeah, fabulous knock that was, and the Netherlands are going to need him to replicate that today. They're currently reeling at 135 for 4. They're going to need another big partnership from someone here. Scott Edwards, the captain, he's out there. He plays for VOC. That is a club in Rotterdam. And the same club, actually, that Max O'Dowd plays for. So they're teammates. And they're the reigning Dutch T20 champions. And this is a different kettle of fish altogether. This is ODI cricket. And the skipper is going to have to put his head down here and try and get a partnership going with Ackerman to try and get the Netherlands to a respectable total.
Yeah, I always think as a captain, the place you want to be where you can dictate the game is out in the middle. End of the over, 136 for 4, and we've got 32 gone. Yeah, Netherlands guilty there. Look, Max O'Dowd and Vikram Singh went back to back, didn't they? They'd made a start, they didn't go on. That's fairly criminal in ODI cricket.
Why not? Ooh.
Yeah, spin is going to play a part here in this encounter. You see Sean Williams into the attack, and we've seen Wesley Madevere being used. We also saw the introduction of Brendan Mavuta, and so was Sikandar Raza. So Zimbabwe employing the spinners. They know that this is a used wicket. It's a similar wicket to the one in the second ODI. It's not easy to get it away. It's a little bit slow. It's gripping the surface. And so the spinners are going to play a big role here.
Ah, yes, Willie. Willie!
Tight stuff again from Williams. He's been a terrific addition since he came in the side into this series. 77, of course, off 73 as well with the bat in the previous ODI. There'll be a couple of runs down to Mirzabani. Down at third man. Streaky runs though.
Yeah, Streaky off the outside there, just wide of the man at slip. Mirzabani, tall, fast bowler. It's a long way for him to get down there, so that allows them to come back for two easily. He's gone down for the sweep, got a little feather on that. And Mirzabani said Richard Garava is never going to get there. And that will run away for another boundary.
This is nice from Edwards. Gets outside the line of the ball. Gets one drifting down the leg side to play with and just gets enough bat on it. Yeah, the point I was trying to make just before the end of the last over.
Ah, yes, Willie.
And it's the end of this over. Is a Netherlands 142 for 4 after 33.
33 overs, 142 for 4.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, you had a live event months ago about I needed a couple of passive balls. Yeah, 2-4-4 be where they'd like to be. That'll take some work, you feel. Shout for LBW. I think that's drifting down. No interest. Malim Dar. Yeah, the point I was making is that Scott Edwards was bitterly disappointed. Just having a look at the shout for LBW, and that is just drifting down.
Interesting to see Madera is getting a little bit of grip and turn as well on this surface. So that's making it difficult for the batsman to contend. He's been really good, Madera. 7.2 overs now. He's got the wicket. He's gone for 36 runs so far. Everything his touch seems to tend to gold.
Scott Edwards on the reverse. He won't beat the man, but what Scott Edwards was bitterly disappointed is he had the game in his power. That's the thing. As a captain, there's nothing better because you don't have to rely on anybody else. You can just rely on yourself, and he knew that he had the game in his hands, and he blew it at the back end. Harsh maybe, but that's what he felt. And he won't want to miss out on this occasion, this third ODI, because he's got the chance of setting the game up as the Netherlands captain, setting up a score.
Yeah, he's got a bit of time, hasn't he? It's only 33 overs in. Ackerman has been brilliant. He's on 36 of 51. He's played himself in, he's put his head down, he's grinding, he's worked really hard for his runs. It's important that he kicks on from here, together with the skipper.
Nothing.
Yeah. End of the over. Netherlands ticking along on 144 for 4:34 gone. Cut away. Sean Williams, we just had a look at the bowling figures there a second ago, and what we can tell you is that already all the changes are being rung, aren't we? We've had 7 bowlers already used by Craig Irvine. He used 8 in the first. There's the card, look, plenty on there. Sean Williams, of course, bowled really nicely in that second ODI. Just pace off the ball from him.
It's that sort of wicket, isn't it? Try and take pace off the ball. Try and get the batsman to make the pace. It's nicely played through the offside. There is protection down there. Sikandar Raza is the man manning the square boundary on the offside.
Vastly experienced campaigner, Sean Williams.
Oh, yeah.
This is it, isn't it? Middle overs, pace off the ball. We've got 4 men out, of course. Scott Edwards, there he is. Just wants to bat through, does the skipper. Good work. Mataveri again, who is so brilliant in that infield. Terrific across the ground.
Yeah, it's great fielding. You can't keep him out of the game, can you? Mataveri, look at that. Athletic, exuberance of youth. It's really ticking. He's one of those youngsters that's always buzzing in the Zimbabwe side.
No, he's bowled him. Oh dear. Through the sweep a fraction early. And Colin Ackerman has to go. Rock stump again. Leg rock stump. Well, the off stump rocks back. Have a little check for the no ball, though.
They're going to look at the no ball, and that's okay. That's a legitimate delivery. Yeah, poor short selection. A little bit too short for that, and slows it down, Sean Williams. And through the short too early was Akman. He's got to depart for a well-made 37 of 55 deliveries. Netherlands now 147 for 5.
Netherlands are 147 for 5.
Colin Ackerman will be bitterly disappointed. He set himself up as well, 37 off 55. Next man in, hero of the first ODI, Teja Ninamaru. Best of 110. What an innings that was. Strike rate 96.54. That's quite handy. That would be very handy in this game.
Yeah, they're going to need all the heroics from that first ODI, but as we look at the wicket again, Ackerman just going through the short too early. Great bowling from Evan to take the pace off it. It did grip and turn and held its line. That proved his undoing.
Yeah, terrific bit of work. End of the over. Netherlands 147 for 5, and we've got 35 gone. Well, the story of the tape here is that, well, the top order have got starts, haven't they? 27, 38, 29, 37, but nobody's really gone on. Ackerman guilty of that, the last one to go, 37 off 55. Turn again.
There's part of the crowd enjoying the proceedings. There's the grass bank at Terrari Sports Club, and also the grandstands. Very noisy chance of a run out. Madeira couldn't quite gather that, and they're going to come back for another one. There was a bit of a mix-up in the middle between Nida Manuru and his captain, but it's all safe now.
Yeah, just a hesitation there. It was a good pickup. Direct hit would have been a problem. Couldn't gather on that occasion. It's a little frenetic here. How far would he have been out by? Oh, dead. Dead for all money. That would have been another another duck at that had gone for Nida Maru, considering he got 110 in the first innings. Just rearranging his pads now.
Yep, direct hit was gone for all money, if you ask me there. Seems to have done himself a little bit of a mischief. Here's a brilliant knock from teacher Nida Manuru in that first ODI. He was sedate, started off really slowly, and then started to pick it up. Some lofty blows down the ground as his innings went on. Fantastic hitting, hits the ball cleanly, and he loved it. First ODI 100 for Teja Nida Manuru. Fantastic innings that was in that first ODI to take his side home. And they're going to need him today to hang around with his captain and build a partnership to try and get a respectable total here for the Dutch side. Currently at 149 for 5. They need a partnership.
Yeah, they do indeed. They don't need to be too frenetic. I think a little bit of their cricket in the last few overs, they need to read the conditions. Nida is making his way back, and oh, these beautiful pictures of this wonderful country here in Zimbabwe. That looks high for my money, but what a beautiful place. Look at that zip line. I'm really keen on doing that if I get invited back. I'd love to go up there.
Yeah, Zimbabwe, beautiful country, a world of wonders. Nicely played. Quick single. So that brings up, with that single, the 150 for the Netherlands. But the only problem is that wicket column. Wickets column, 5 wickets down. And the first 50 came off 54 deliveries, and the second was a lot slower, 89. And this one, just a 71. So Netherlands just got pegged back by fall of wickets. Wickets just crumbling in a little cluster in the middle period.
Yeah, Nida Maru is very strong down the ground, as we saw in that first innings. He's got loads of time, tons of time, 14 a bit overs. That is a lot of time in one-day international cricket. Picked it up a little here, haven't they?
Scott Edward on the sweep. He's protection in the dip. And Ryan Bell is the man out on square leg boundary. Yeah, a lot of time he has Teja Nida Manuru in this game. Current run rate now 4.24 to the over. It's nicely played, but straight to the fielder. And we're going to take a drinks break. 36 off is gone. And Netherlands 152 for 5.
Drinks break 152 for 5. Just a reminder that there is lots of food and drink around the ground, especially just behind the electric scoreboard. There's lots of drives going on out there. And remember, you can also download the Zimbabwe Cricket app to get goal-by-goal coverage of all cricket action in Zimbabwe. Again, please note in your diaries that Zimbabwe will be hosting the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup Qualifier 2023 from 18 June to 9 July. There will be 43 matches played across venues in Harare and Bulawayo. This will decide the final 2 participants at the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup 2023 in India later this year. Final Dafo bet, one-day internationals, series levelled 1-1. Netherlands won the toss and elected to bat first.
I'm well traveled. For the wickets, Max O'Dowd wins 61, Vikramjit Singh 69, Musa Ahmad at 129, Wesley Baresi at 132, then Colin Ackerman, last man to fall, 147 for 5. And it's been clusters of them, and this is the first one to go. That's Max O'Dowd, caught by Richard Ngarava. And Skander Raza caught captain and Wesley Madevere's first one for today. Didn't get the turn he expected, and then Sean Williams took a good return catcher. And then the second one from Sean Williams, a little slower through the air.
Now Williams, the man with the golden arm, he's got 2 for 14 from his 4 overs, and then a wicket apiece for Raza, and the other spinner in the lineup for today, along with Mavuta, Muzarabani and Madevere. So handy with ball in hand, Sean Williams, in particular on a used surface like this, Darlington, because he has the ability to get the turn. We've seen a little bit of it, but also the one that goes straight on.
And those very intelligent changes of pace, slows it up quite nicely. Probably outside the line.
Wow. Good awareness from Scott Edwards. That very nearly bounced back onto the stumps, but he made sure that he had his body covering it. Played a handy knock, a little cameo in that second one-day international. This is a couple of balls ago. Inside edge. And he's done well to make sure he's covered those stumps. He eventually fell to Skander Raza in that penultimate over. Needing 19 to win, low full toss. He could have hit it anyway. And he had played so well up until then.
Into the 37th, and it's 152 for 5.
37 overs, 152 for 5.
Chip Millen off, please, Ali.
Trial by spin for the Netherlands today. Raza Madevere Williams got 2. Spinners taking 4 of the 5 that have fallen so far. And Wesley Madevere's last one.
I'm quite happy to see Madevere get through his overs as quickly as he has. This is the wicket that we were talking about in that penultimate over 2 days ago. He could have hit it anywhere. Scott Edwards, he picked out the man at long on, but their hopes are still alive. Zimbabwe eventually winning on the last delivery. The series has truly been entertaining. Turn again. Now, I just hope the Zimbabwean batsmen are getting their heads around this, Darlington, because it's certainly something that they're going to have to deal with in the afternoon innings.
Seen a change in the Netherlands side today, and that's Aryan Dutt who came in today. Bowled some off spin. Strengthened their bowling order by doing that. Nice bit of fielding from Wesley Madevere. And then Shariz Ahmad bowled beautifully in the second ODI. Colin Ackerman with his off spin. So that's the end of the 38th, and it's 153 for 5.
So it's actually not the end of the over. There's 1 ball to go.
First time I can actually say my name alongside that great umpire, Alim Dar. Alim and I both thought that the over was completed, but we were both wrong. So there's still 1 more ball to bowl. And I'm going to carry this one around for a while, but Alim Dar and I think alike.
Wow, it looks like maybe you and Alim might have been right, Darlington. It's 38 gone, 153 for 5.
Willie!
It'll be interesting to see how far into that last power play he will be bowled. That's a good shot. Mid-off is up in the circle. In the ability and the power hitting of Nida Manura in that first one-day international. Calculated risk. Nicely done.
Just got himself into good position. Got leg side of the ball slightly. Make sure he could clear mid-off easily.
Yeah,
I think what Sean Williams and Craig Irvin were saying to him was have a go. Oh, now I think that might just be a misstumping chance. Difficult for the wicket keeper because I think it's turned and bounced a little bit extra. But Nida Manuru looked like he just dragged that back foot out.
That one is off the outside edge, and it's the soft hands that have soft saved Nida Manuru this time. And this is a beauty from Sean Williams. Turn and bounce. I thought he'd bowled him initially, and yes, you're right, Tino has dragged that back leg over the line. Just 4 from Sean Williams, 6th over, 157 for 5.
He's going to learn how to attack the front. Him behind for instrument.
Max Adad, top scorer in the second ODI in Netherlands colours. Top scorer so far today is 38, coming in 43 balls. It's going to be Sikandar Raza from the golf course end. How crucial it would be if he could just whittle out another wicket for Zimbabwe here. Makes the sweep shot. He's got it away, but just for one. He's looking to come back for 2, Scott Edwards. Good thing he's managed to get bat on ball there. Might have just found himself in trouble. Lovely Saturday afternoon at Orion Sports Club. Series decider between these two. Please make sure you make your way down to Orion Sports Club if you in and around the area for what should be a thrilling finish to this Dufferbet one-day international series.
Sikandar Raza has bowled beautifully today. 18 runs from his bowling so far. And it's been a series of dot balls that I think has created the pressure that the Netherlands find themselves under here. Not just him, also Sean Williams bowling from the city end predominantly. Wesley Madawere before him. Loads and loads of dot balls, just not really allowed the Netherlands to get going.
.160 for 5. Darlington, 1 ball to go before the start of that final power play. What are you thinking in your mind as Craig Irvin, and what would you be happy that they can get in that last 10 that you feel you'll be able to chase? You can give us your answer at the beginning of the next over. 160 for 5.
And that is Langton Rusere signaling the beginning of the last pile play. Maximum of 5 fielders outside the 30-yard circle for Zimbabwe. From here on, And another interesting idea is that there have been 30 runs scored off the last 10 that have all been bowled by the spinners. And Tino was asking me a question at the end of last over. What do you think would be a good score here? I think Craig said somewhere around 230. This is really good effort, valiant attempt from Brandon Mavuta. Came a long way to his left from backward square leg. Just couldn't get enough on it to keep it inside the ring.
He's done well. He's forced that well in front of square. He's found that mid-wicket gap. Brandon Mavuta, despite a valiant effort, not able to stop that from getting into the boundary. That's his go-to shot to the spinners. Scott Edwards, the sweep shot. It's gone again. It's gone very fine. And this time he's not able to stop the boundary on his right side.
It's 2 boundaries off the first 2 deliveries of this 7th Sean Williams over. This is good. He's gone quite a long way to the offside to make sure he gets it between Richard Ngarava, who's inside the circle on that short fine leg, and Brandon Mavuta on the boundary. So I think Craig was saying 230 was around the score that he thought they'd be comfortable chasing here. That's another 60-odd runs, nearly 70 runs from here. I think final 10 overs that you go for 74 in total would be really good effort from the Zimbabweans. And I think we're going to see a lot of spinners rotated through this little period.
It's well watched. That's the one I'm talking about. Sean Williams just gets to skid on and go on at the arm. If you're coming forward sometimes and you just take a bit of time to get that bat down, you find yourself in a bit of trouble.
Looks like a man who's enjoying his time out on the park at Harare Sports Club. 2 for 27 so far. Good runs in the second ODI. He's bowled quite nicely today.
Waiting, no, right? Still waiting. Minus. Wait on!
Over.
169 for 5.
(41 overs, 169 for 5).
Good start, foot to the power play. 9 overs from the first over of the last power play. There's been no really big Manhattans for the Netherlands today, in mostly Zimbabwe. Wickets in clusters.
That's what's helped Zimbabwe just bring down that rate. First couple of wickets falling relatively close to each other, 67 and 69, and then 129, 132 and 147. Now just a little partnership building. It's 22 between Captain Anita Manuru. They know how dangerous the latter is, so they'll want him to be making his way to the change room as quickly as possible. Always that sweep shot once again. 7 from 19, Nida Manura at this stage. Started slowly again in that first ODI, but then went on to catch up and score very quickly towards the end. So they're wary of that fact, Zimbabwe, I'm sure.
Did get 3 sixes in that innings of 110 down the ground. A couple of really clean strikes.
Oh, yeah.
So he has the advantage that he knows he can clear the boundary, and he's just got to make sure that he gives himself a little bit of a time to get the pace to the wicket, and then he should really be thinking to try and get a couple of boundaries and over from probably 44th to 46th onwards.
It's the quicker one, and he's seen it well. Nicely played, just the full face. Down to long on. And he will realise the importance of both of these two being there for as long as possible. Darlington, and more often than not, we've seen teams try and get after the bowlers in this last set too soon. Oh, that's nicely played. That is very, very well played. He's just closed the face on the ball, but made sure it's gone over that mid-wicket in the gap between the two fielders on the leg side boundary.
Yeah, deliberate closing of the face. Big gap at straightish cow corner. And he finds the all-important boundary for Netherlands, does Teja Nida Manuru.
Push him. Let go, Bunek, let go. No. Still waiting.
42 gone, 177 for 5.
Next batsman to come, Shariz Ahmed, has been good, quite handy. Even though, yes, that average is below 15, trust me, he knows how to hold a bat. Van Meekeren, obviously we're looking to finish off the innings with Klaasen. Some handy blows at the back there in the second one-day international. Klaasen nearly getting this team through past the line.
Umpire. Umpire. Umpire.
Sean Williams, he continues from the city end. Joining me at this moment in time in the comm box to discuss more of this third Diffabet one-day international. Patient Charumbira.
Morning, Stanley. Interesting finale we have here. Nida Manuru and Scott Edwards out there in the middle for the Netherlands. And Scott Edwards is a very, very experienced campaigner. It's been around for a while. He will know that if they can put their head down here and take this deep, Netherlands can conjure up a respectable total here.
Talking about a total, Patient, are you a man who's a figures man, willing to put your neck on the line, give us a figure, or are you an open check?
Well, if these two stick around and take it deep to as late as the 47th, 48th over, I reckon 240, 230, 240 could be on the cards. For me, that's a competitive total on this wicket. And considering the fact that we've seen how spin has been taking a leading role in affecting this encounter. Bearing in mind that the Netherlands have also brought in another spinner in the form of Aryan Dutt. This is good running, extremely good running from this two. Fabulous running between the wickets.
This is good stuff. The captain, Scotty Edwards, making a quick call. Teja Manuru going to the danger end, one would have thought, but placing Mzarabani going to the wrong end. Much to the displeasure of Sikandar Raza.
Okay, I didn't know that, but let's do it quicker.
Talking about good scores.
Stay, Tija.
It's the first time we're seeing the Netherlands batting in the series. So obviously one thing that is behind their minds is the fact that Zimbabwe 249 in the first one-day international. They got close and they passed it. 250, chase down. Second one day, 270. 271 set target, and they missed it by one. So they know that once you sit yourself in, Harare Sports Club is a very good wicket to bat on. As you see that LBW shot. Good turn, but the question is, did it pitch in line? Did it pitch in line? That's the question that obviously would have given Langton Masere the idea of giving that decision not out.
No, that was pretty close indeed. Probably hide the factor, I would say, as we see Teja Manuru easing one down to the man at long off. That's Ryan Bell down there. It's end of the 43rd. Netherlands 182 for 5.
43 overs, 182 for 5. Yeah, just a reminder that there is lots of food and drink around the grounds. Just behind the electric scoreboard, OK Zimbabwe as well. A bed cricket specials, burgers $2, Cascade 50 cents, all drinks $1. Hot dogs just $2.
That's the current status quo. 182 for 5 up to 43. And the projected scores as it stands at the current run rate 4.23, 212. But what they would want is to go about 6 and above. Try and get to the 240, 250 mark. It's possible. There's two competent batsmen out there in the middle. Teja Manuru registering his maiden one-day international 100. Scotty Edwards very good with the sweep as Zimbabwe looks to continue using the spinners in the dead.
The spinners have played a vital role here, and we see Sikandar Raza is going to continue from the golf course end. It's a decent area again. Good running has been the mark of this partnership really so far. His presence of mind to always look to rotate the strike, keep the scoreboard ticking. And Scott Edwards will know, and he just has to hang in there with Teja, take it as deep as possible. And this is still on, it's game on here. The Netherlands can set up a good total here. They're in it.
Nicely played. Key factor, get off strike, continue to rotate the strike, keep the scoreboard ticking. And at this stage, the ones and twos are equally important. You get a boundary, icing on the cake. Sikandar Raza had an opportunity to have an interview with him this morning, with regards to him continuing to bowl in the power play. He likes the challenge. Always looking to mix it up and about. He's got a round arm delivery. He's got a googly. He's got that standard off spinner. Bowled in! Sikandar Raza does it again in the dead. He's enjoying himself, giving himself the opportunity to bowl in the dead and repaying.
That's a huge wicket in the context of this game. They will obviously have a look at the no ball. Tell you what, and that's okay. That's legitimate. So, Teja Manuru, he's on his bike. Sikandar Raza getting one to tail back in at pace. And that's a huge wicket. Teja Manuru, the centurion in the first innings, he's got to depart now for 18. Netherlands, 184 for the loss of 6 wickets.
for 6. New batsman, Shiraz.
The star, Centurion, Tejanita Manuru, is the reason why Sharice Ahmed is coming to the picture. Best of 30. Just after 5 matches. This is his 5th, by the way. And this is the wicket. Sikandar Raza, just gentle off spin, looking to try and pierce the leg side was Tejanita Manuru. He's just kept low, it's gone through the gate. A timely wicket for Zimbabwe. There's the wicket again, but importantly, the question that comes about, because he's a dangerous player, Tejanita Manuru, the impact, the effect it'll have in the Netherlands total here by his departure.
And that's huge. That's going to be huge because he's capable of clearing the boundary. He's capable of hitting a long ball at the back end of the innings, and that's a huge wicket in the contest of this game. A little too straight and helped around the corner by the skipper, and that'll run away for another boundary. A welcome boundary for the Netherlands to end the 44th. 189 for 6.